I want to ask you too. The store, the model of the typical Bass Pro store, is not your, it's not your sporting goods store from the 80s or the 90s. It's an experience. You talked about the archery range and in Concord, the giant. Every one of them has a giant aquarium. How did that vision evolve over time to be able to get to where, like, I can walk in a Bass Pro Shop and be entertained, learn about products, find something that I don't have that I want, find what I'm looking for. But, you literally have to force yourself to leave.
Except at some places where you have hotels.
Yeah. But, it's you
can
re-envisioned the shopper's experience in those stores, and y'all continue, to add more bells and whistles, right? Whose idea, where did that idea come from? Outside, why not just, here's your lures, here's your ammo, your firearms, here's your camo, here's some rods and reels on the wall in the back. What made you get to the point to where you were really kind of wanting to change the experience for the shopper?
Well, it goes back to that field trip to LL Bean, seeing them attract people. I spent 2 years, and many times my sister Susie going, but we traveled to every sporting goods store we could hear of around the country. I went to Germany, Sweden, Europe, looking at sporting goods stores to get ideas.
Really?
And other grocery stores. But then, too, over the years, we've tried to make each store a tribute to the region or the area. Like our artist, we have in-house artists. We have our own fab shop that does metal work for chandeliers, for just craftsmen, to make cases out of wood, log fabrication. And our team, before we open the store, they'll go out and they'll study nature features of an area and the history. We try to engage customers, and sometimes they'll donate mounts or memorabilia things from the region to try to make each store a little bit unique and celebrate the history of a region and not just be, a cookie cutter.
That's funny you talk about the mounts, because I had a buddy of mine, a friend, that I hadn't seen in about 5 or 10 years. Just a buddy from Mooresville that I used to drink beer with years ago, called me up and goes, my dad, his dad had just passed away a year or two ago, and he's like, my dad passed away, and he's donated a mount to the Bass Pro Shops in Concord. He's wondering if he could get it back, and they were nice.
Oh.
They were like, yeah, come get it. But I didn't. So
they all have signs in them, donated by such and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. So our first inspiration for aquariums, we got in my dad's liquor store. We got an 8-foot diameter underground gas storage tank. We cut a 4-foot window in it. We asked our customers, can you bring in big bass or big crappie? And it worked out great for the bass, but the crappie, the bass ate them all.
Oh, yeah.
Guys said, but anyway, it's just said that people were fascinated to see fish in an aquarium, and now we have,
giant aquariums.
Yeah, and like fishing instruction in them and things.
What idea didn't work?
I can't even talk about that. So,
yeah.
No, there's a lot of ups and downs along the way.
What is next? What do you want in a store that you don't have?
This more fun stuff.
More fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. We travel around with Wyatt, my son, and usually, if there's a Bass Pro Shop there, we go there for the whole experience.
Yeah.
L-Dub wants to walk around and look for
look,
the next item.
Oh, man.
But Wyatt runs through there and goes to the archery place or whatever it is.
That is an interesting point too, because we've been in many stores around the country, and they don't all feel the same.
No.
They all have that local vibe to them.
Hey, now you mentioned Wyatt. Now I get chills. In the company meetings, I replay a race you sent me, or LW, a Wyatt starting in the back and great racing against men and just blowing her. This flashback of his uncle and his grandpa. You know, it's
Well,
unbelievable.
and I think we wanted to kind of talk about just your effect in our sport. You know, we did talk about there briefly with your relationship with Dad, and then moving on to Martin Truex and sponsoring him. But, you know, Austin Dillon up at RCR. You have, and then, you know, recently here with Noah Gragson when he ran for Junior Motorsports and supporting him, and you've continued to support us with Josh Berry, and now he's moving on to the Cup Series. And we have a young racer named Carson Quapple in our late model car who's pretty much a wheel man, and my son Wyatt. So you've had a hand in a lot of relationships in this sport and young drivers. How does that make you feel?
It's a lot of fun, and it reminds me of fishing, really. The quality of the people in the racing community, and how down for most part, I mean, you get all characters from every sport, but I mean, compared to many other athletes, I'd say, or something, like the personalities of the racing community, it reminds me of the personalities and the genuineness of the people in the fishing community.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think that now, you know, not only have you been a big supporter at the highest level and helped a lot of people like, you know, Dad and Martin and other people achieve their dreams and successes on the racetrack, but your involvement in grassroots racing and other levels of NASCAR and allowing people to kind of continue their journeys has been equally as impressive to me. And I really admire people that understand how important the roots of the tree are. And so I wanted to ask you, let's talk about the Pyramid Store. That was pretty ambitious. There's a pyramid.
It was where the basketball team played,
in
Memphis. Yeah, Memphis.
And it was a sports arena. I mean, this is a giant space, even for Bass Pro standards. Apparently, the story goes that you were fishing in the shadow of that pyramid, all right, with Bill Dance and Jack Emmett. Is that true?
That's totally true.
And you said, they challenged you. They said, if we catch a 30-pound fish, you're going to buy the pyramid and put a Bass Pro Shop in there.
Well, so the city owned this building, right? A big space.
It's huge.
And it's kind of a scary deal, like, bet the farm on this. And, like, not only that, the city owned the building. They had a commission to study, and the consultants recommend maybe talk to Bass Pro, put a store in there. So I go down there with my boy JP, and it's hot, sunny, you know, summer day. We're hiking all the way up to the top on these stairs. But, man, for a daydreamer, like, is a big bot. I mean, what a space, 52 million cubic feet, you know, the
right.
space. And so we started thinking, what could we do with this? And we thought, man, we'll just create, like, the Delta Flyway, big cypress trees, and put, like, some hotel rooms like the Opryland Hotel with balconies looking out. Mm-hmm. So it comes down to it, and we struck this deal with the city. We either got to go for it or not. And, man, I was real emotional about it. So Bill Dance, our buddy, you know, he said, Johnny, come down, let's go catfishing. And other guy, Jack Emmett, was our first fishing manager we ever had. The three of us were in a boat. And that day I said, guys, look, we got to make, and president of our company at the time, he's called me, said, Johnny, the press is coming. We got to announce today, are we doing this or not? I just told Jack and Bill, I said, if we catch a catfish over 30 pounds, sometimes you can flip
the
coin
quarter,
on
you just
something.
caught a fish.
So, like, instead of flipping the coin, if we catch a catfish over 30 pounds, this is meant to be, we'll do it. So Jim, our president, he calls me, he said, Johnny, are we doing this or not? He calls me at 10 in the morning. I kept putting him on. Finally, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he said, John, this is ridiculous. People are coming at 3. Are we doing this or not? And I'm stuttering around, you know. And about that time, old Jack's half asleep in the back, and his rod starts banging. I said, Jim, I don't know, but it's looking real promising. I'll call you right back. That's a true story, so help me. And because I was really torn to do it or not.
Yeah.
Jack caught that fish, and we did it, and it's worked out great for the city and for us.
Yeah.
But that's a true story about catching that fish.